Dear Gilliam Anderson, it's me, your partner, David Dukachevi, and I'm sending you this footage because what I have to show you is absolute proof in the existence of a conspiracy that goes all the way to the top, and perhaps even aliens. Now, I was in Central Irithyll conducting a normal, routine Federal Bureau of invasion investigation, when suddenly you can see this blue spirit appeared, and blue is the color of outer space, ergo aliens. The government denies knowledge, Gilliam, but that's why it makes so much sense for one of the most expensive government agencies, the FBI, to put me on the case to look for him. It's just logic. If you could think for one moment, you would see what I'm talking about. But someone is abducting these people. I followed a trail of eggs that had fallen out of a man's anus, and I found an ovipositor, and that's what led me here. And I knew for a fact that someone was taking these people. Now, it can either be aliens or it could be a conspiracy by the government. I'm not sure which one. I've talked to all of the people on the Alex Jones podcast, and one thing's for certain. They're putting chemicals in the water that's turning the frickin' frogs gay. You can see the host. Look at this movement. It's erratic and strange. He's floating all over the place. Gilliam, this is definitely proof of some sort of supernatural phenomenon entity. Watch, you'll see here, after all that movement that he did, none of it made sense. And it's almost as if those forces of science and nature convened together, because then he just stops. He just stops, Gilliam, with a wave. The aliens took him away, and he was gone. Gilliam Anderson, look, I found him later on, and he bowed to me, as if to say that he was, a true person, and he was here to go and have, a friend. He was going to let me question him, but I knew he was lying, and then I found his friend, and it was the same one. So these two are working together. I know it. It's obvious, and it should be obvious to you too. Now, I know you're a skeptic, but I think even you would be able to conclude that, these two guys are totally working together. Hey, you know what's weird? Gilliam Anderson, and I don't know if people ever consider this or not, but a lot of times when we do investigations for the alien files, we go up to like random strangers, and we show them that we're the government, and we show them our badges, and we tell them that we think it might be aliens that did the mystery. But the people are always like, what are you, crazy? But it's like, we work for the government. If somebody came up to me and said, well, we think aliens might have taken them, and they worked for the government, my immediate reaction would not be like, what are you, crazy? It'd be like, oh shit, aliens are real, and the government just told me that. But, I mean, whatever. It's not like it's a plot hole or anything. The government denies knowledge, which is why they hire me to search around for it. That's also not a plot hole either. Now, as you can see, I'm using my government-issued follower saber here to just really whip ass with the local Irithyll Police Department, and we just managed to kill that one. The aliens couldn't take because they got killed by the laser swords. Laser swords beat the aliens, Gilliam. Please, Gilliam, get back to me with what you think is happening. And I know you're just going to say it's science, but I really think that maybe it's not. And maybe if it is science, it's like, alien science. If, like science can be real and aliens. There can be that middle ground. Season 9. Now, I had investigated that host. And then when I came to investigate his phantom, but he was no longer a phantom because he was in his own world, so he was a host. But as you can see, I came to also investigate him, and so he also made a phantom, and his phantom was thinking he would quick step through a curved sword, which was really clever of him. I would never see that coming because it's too good of a tactic. Anyway, I had to get rid of this phantom so that I could question the host, but he was not having any of it. You see how he's standing perfectly stationary? I think it's because he was receiving word from the aliens, and then he got taken away. It's everywhere. They all are in on it. And the deeper I dug, the closer I got to the truth. This is one of the closest encounters of the third kind that I can know of. This person's name is Scrub King. It doesn't get any closer to rock bottom than this guy right here. You can tell what's going on with him already, as I'm sure, based on the evidence or based on the history of the video that I'm providing to you, you know where I'm going with this, Gilliam. But it's the truth. It's out there, Gilliam. The aliens they're gonna get him, and they're gonna. But why? So now I'm piecing together the why, and I think I've figured it out. After that host was investigated, I looked inside of his anus, and I found multiple eggs, and they looked to have been mechanically placed inside of his anus with an ovipositor. So I think that the aliens are using Host of Embers to act as surrogate egg mothers for their chicken babies. And look at how he teleports and skates around, defying the laws of physics. And then the alien police come, just like in season 6, when we had to stab them in the neck and they would turn into poisonous, noxious gas clouds. You know exactly what I'm talking about because you've watched it all, except it's not on Netflix anymore, so you can't watch it. But the eggs exist inside of their anus. Now you can see the host, Scrub King. He's gone ahead and he's got his gold, and he's got the 2 alien police forcemen back on his side. This was a tense, clutch moment, but I expected nothing less from someone named Scrub King. You could really, you know what I mean? Like, I went and interviewed his mother after this, and she was like, I used to be proud of him, but he's the reason his father left. And I said, well, what do you mean, ma'am? And she said, well, when he was a boy, he couldn't stand to hear human voices, and so we had to put him in a like a vice grip and hold him and feed him the milk of rabbits. It was all his sensitive stomach could take, and he had dreams of playing high school sports, but the gym teachers would never allow him to because his bones were so brittle and frail. However, brittle and frail bones are perfect for keeping eggs inside of your anus because it means that your pelvic bones can stretch out quite a ways. And so, something like a goose egg is pretty big. So if these aliens have goose egg sized egg babies, then these weak-boned, can't play dodgeball looking motherfuckers, they're the exact kind of thing that the aliens would be looking to use for their purposes. Now, as you can see, I've managed to dispatch the phantoms, and that includes the alien police who try and keep these anal eggs safe. They're they're there to protect the eggs inside the anus of the host. But he would not answer any of my questions. So I managed to get some backup, and it was a super, special episode with guest stars. It's going to be nominated for an Emmy, I'm pretty sure. It turned out pretty well. We went ahead and we made sure that, the guest star, he got like good scene time, good camera time, but he wasn't like the focus of the show. We managed to really strike that balance. So, it worked out pretty well for everybody. But yeah, this guy, I suspect if we could get inside of his anus and look, we would find the goose eggs. or the alien eggs that are the size of a geese egg. A geese's egg? A goose's egg. I don't know, Gilliam Anderson. I didn't learn English. All I learned at Quantico was how to dig inside of a man's ass and try and find bird eggs. Anyway, I just thought of something totally unrelated, and it was funny. I just couldn't help it. I just had to have a little snicker, had to have a little laugh. You know me, David Duchovny. I'm, a pretty funny guy, so, it's just, anyway, look, they called him back. They called him back, Gilliam. I knew they would, and they did. So I called one of my friends, and he plays, he investigates at a different level range to see if he was having issues like this. And as you can see, I'm fighting this alien egg protector. And when I managed to get it poisoned, it's actually it's actually one of the coolest things that's ever happened in Dark Souls. Here, I'll just let you watch. He was dead and he didn't even know it. He was investigated. He got investigated and he didn't even know it. It just ate away at him, ate away at his insides. But look, you'll see that look, he also experienced aliens. As soon as the phantoms leave, Gilliam, as soon as the phantoms leave, it turns into this. They disappear from the night. And it wasn't just in Central Irithyll that I experienced this. I took myself and my investigation to the dungeon because I had heard that maybe there might be some going-ons there as well, and I was not disappointed. Now, as you can see, that man that I'm investigating, he's got this gold phantom here. The man I'm investigating is not wearing a shirt. Now, why wouldn't you wear a shirt if you were a man? Is it because the men also produce lactation? I'm starting to think that this is the way that it goes, that this is how it happens, and so I'm like 99% sure that these egg birthers, you can see he's wearing his sweatpants and no shirt, and he's about to give birth to an egg, but he's producing lactation that will be used to feed the alien goose baby. There's not a doubt in my mind. There's no question about it. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, but you still don't have any proof. Because all you've been able to do is investigate one. You've only been able to investigate one. And you're right. Some plot development did happen to that body in Irithyll. The laser sword of the Pontiff Police actually evaporated it. So we weren't able to find the eggs. And that was the mid-episode plot point. But we got past that, and I came here to where there is no laser sword. Gilliam, there's no laser sword in the dungeon. Gilliam, they don't keep laser swords here. So if I can investigate this guy to the full extent, I'll be able to find the ovipositor. You can see how he rolls. Look, vigorously rubbing his anus as he rolls through. Look, non-stop, and then I got some backup from the police here, and they don't use lasers, Gilliam. They don't have them. They use branding irons. There you can see. There, it's happening. And also, their vision steals your life away. And Gilliam, look, I managed to put him down. I'm gonna point. The government's coming to get me, Gilliam. I'm pointing down. This is where you'll find the ovipositor. This is where you'll find the eggs. And if you find me, look inside my own anus for the truth and for the eggs. Gilliam, look for the eggs inside of my anus too. Because it's in there, Gilliam. The truth is in there.